by trying to heat your brain. Ice cream headaches have turned many smiles to frowns. So which one? Is it compare and contrast, descriptive, chronological, or cause and effect? I want you to give me, I am going to poll the class right now. I want you to give me a 1 for A, a 2 for B, a 3 for C, or a 4 for D, okay? Again, make sure that you are paying attention. I need you to give me a 1 for A, which is compare and contrast, a 2 for B, which is chronological, a 3 for descriptive, which is C, and a 4 for cause and effect, which is D. I want you to hold up your answer now. What did you choose for number 2? Go. I'm going through now to look.
What was cause and effect again?
Cause and effect is D. You should be holding up a number 4 if you chose D. Okay, thank you. Awesome job. So now I'm going to take a pause. Let's take a pause. I want you now. You have an activity. You have an activity on Nearpod. This is a matching game. A matching game. I want you to match the text structure with the definition. Okay? This is the 4th day, so we should know the definitions of the different text structures. I want you to complete that now. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. Actually, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. You guys can do that in 3 minutes. Matching game. Let's see who's the first one that can give me the correct answers. There's 5 pairs. Uh-oh. Brittany's on. She got 2 out of 5. Couture's 3. Halima's 4. Brittany's 4.
I'm done, Ms. Jackson.
Okay, make sure you're not unmuting yourself, all right? Write me in the chat. I can see that you're done. Good job, Couture, Halima, Love, Brittany, 5 out of 5. I'm waiting on Malia. I'm waiting on Andrea. I'm waiting on Amelia. Serenity, Meshach, I don't see anything for you. Alejandra, I don't see anything for you. Christina and Jazz, I'm sorry, some of those are not even in class right now. Jazz, I don't see anything for you. Jazz, I'm gonna give you some time to get it together. You have a minute left. You have a minute left. $40 seconds left. Good job, Andrea, Amelia, Maya, Couture, Halima. Right now, the winner is Couture so far. Let's see if Jazz can come in the next 15 seconds. Right now, Richard's the winner so far. All right, the timer is up. The timer is up. I'm now moving on. The winner of this matching game was Richard. I'm going to tell you why. A lot of you guys got 5 out of 5, but Richard he had less tries. He had the least amount of tries. So I'm going to shout Richard out. Good job, Richard. All right. So we're going to move on. Our essential question, how can I use signal words to determine the text structure of informational text? All right. So this is my I do. That means that your paper should mirror mine. By the time I get done my I do, your paper should look exactly like mine. Okay. Exactly like mine. Those of you who are in, you guys are doing a great job so far. Doing a great job so far. So now we have my I do, how to use the microscope, how to use the microscope. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to box my title. I'm going to box my title. Repeat after me. Box your title.
Box your title. Box your title.
Thank you. Your title. Now everyone should be back muted again, right? All right. So now that we are boxing our title, and since you guys repeated after me, that means that you have boxed your title as well. How to use the microscope. All right. I'm going to go through, and I just want you guys to hear my thinking. Here, this is how you guys should be thinking. This is how you guys should be going through the text. Okay. So now, how to use the microscope. 1, plug in the lamp. 2, place a sample of what you wish to observe on a slide. 3, adjust the mirror so it reflects light from the room up into the objective lens. 4, place your slide with the specimen directly over the center of the glass circle on the stage. 5, with the low power objective lens placed over the slide, use the coarse focus knob. 6, look through the eyepiece with one eye while closing the other eye. 7, use the fine focus knob to find. So now that I have gone through the text, I'm going to think about my genre. I know this is not historical. I don't see any dates. I also don't see it talking about anything from the past, all right, or an important place or a historic location. So I'm going to rule that out. I'm also going to rule out scientific because I know that it's not talking anything about plants, wildlife, volcanoes, anything relating back to anything science. Is not a scientific text. I know that. I'm going to look more to the technical side. I know that technical means that it's showing me how to do something. We know that technical text tells us how to do something. So I would then write a T right here for technical because it's literally telling me how to use the microscope. And that is the name of the passage, how to use a microscope. So I'm going to write a T here for technical. All right. I already have my title box, so it's telling me how to do something. How to. All right. That is another sign of technical text. Okay. Teaching us how to do something. All right. So now I'm going to look for my text structure keywords. I'm going to look in the text to see if I see any keywords. I'm looking over here on the side. I'm looking at all the different boxes. I actually don't see any. I don't see any. I don't see similar, alike. I don't see first or second. I don't see the words first or second. I don't see if or then. I don't see any adjectives, maybe specifically. I don't see so, because of. I don't see any of that, right? I don't see any of those words. But what I do see numbers. I see numbers. So I'm going to sit here. I'm going to underline my numbers because those are important to me. Those are important. So I'm going to underline my numbers. All right. And in my mind, I'm going to say, what are these numbers for? I'm looking through the text. I'm saying 1, plug in the lamp. I see 2 is telling me to do something. 3 is telling me to do something. So in my mind, these are steps. These are steps. It's telling me how to use the microscope. I'm looking at the text right here, the title of the text. I also see numbers, right? They're going in order. And each number is telling me something else to do. So it's steps. All right. So while I don't have specific words in here that says first, second, first, after, then finally, I'd have numbers, which is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is going in order. All right. So my text structure keywords are the numbers 1 through 7. And I'm going to put 1 through 7. And I also have them underlined. I have each number underlined. So if you're drawing along with me, as you should have a T in the genre box for technical. You should have the text structured keywords 1 through 7 already underlined. Now I'm going to move on to the text structure. I know it's giving me steps. And I know, based off of what we learned all week and our matching game that we just played, I know that if it's giving me steps on how to do something, I know that that is sequential order. I know that that is sequential order, also known as chronological order. All right. So now you should have 3 out of the 4 boxes filled in. Now I need to finish up my step. My last step is to type out the main idea statement. All right. I have to fill in the sentence stem. I have to fill in the sentence stem. So now I am opening up my text box. And I'm going to start it off. The author uses, and fill in the blank. We already know what the text structure is, which is sequential order. I will take SO if you don't want to type out sequential order, okay? Sequential order to what? What are they doing? They're showing us or teaching us how to use the microscope, okay? So the author uses sequential order to teach us how to use the microscope. Once again, the title has been circled or underlined. That's what it's teaching us how to do, right? That's also can count as the main idea, what the text is mainly talking about, all right? And we put that in there. The author uses sequential order to teach us how to use the microscope. Everyone take a look at that. I'm now going to come and see who has their paper and which paper looks exactly like mine. And as it's switching over, I'm coming down to check. Everyone should be in progress. I see Andrea's paper if everyone is looking. Okay, Couture. It looks like it kicked some of you guys out. All right. And I'm going to look up Andrea's paper. Let's take a look at hers. If you take a look, if you can look right onto the Zoom, you see she has everything in the bottom part. But look at the top part, Andrea. What are you missing in the text? What are you missing in the text? Right? You missed some steps. Okay, so I want you to go back and correct that. All right. So it looks like Maya has submitted hers. I'm going to go in. And if you look at Maya, she has everything that I had on my paper. She has the title boxed. Okay. She has her numbers underlined. And she has the table filled completely in along with her main idea statement. Wonderful job, Maya. Point. All right, there's some of you who just joined the class and I just let you in, guys. I did not know it knocked all of you guys out like that. I will give you another minute to complete it. Some of you guys were kind of following along in Nearpod still, even though you weren't on the Zoom. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit more time. Sanaya G, wonderful job as well. If you're on Zoom and you're looking, she boxed the title as well, did underline her steps. Main idea statement, wonderful job. Brittany's still in progress, but I'm going to check on her. Looks like she's finishing up. Looks great so far, Brittany. Jazz. I still see some of you connecting to Sanaya McLean. You should have something written on your paper. Let me see if I can get a hold of Jazz.
Yes.
Okay, you should be doing your work, right? You ready to learn?
Yes.
All right, thank you for coming back and being ready to learn. I want you to, you should be still logged into Nearpod. I do see you still logged into Nearpod, and you should be completing the I do. I mean, not completing I do. I did my I do, but I want you to mark up, since you were not in class, I want you to mark up your paper the way that I would, okay? So I'm going to, if you look on Zoom, I'm going to project a paper that looked just like mine, okay? So Jazz, look at Sanaya G's paper. This is exactly how I marked up my paper. I went through it. I looked at the genre, which was technical. My keywords were the numbers because I couldn't find any words, any keywords, but I also found numbers. And I said that I knew that the numbers, that since they were going in order, it was showing me steps, okay? And that's how I came up with that. So I underlined each number, and then I was able to identify that that text structure was sequential order. And then I filled in the blanks, all right, to my main idea statement, okay? The author uses sequential order to teach us how to use the microscope. So I'm going to give you, it's 11:11. I'm going to give you a minute, Jazz. I want you to attempt to at least mark up the passage, okay? At least attempt to mark up the passage like you see it on the screen. So I can kind of know that you're kind of, that you understand, okay? I want you to do that now. I'm looking for your paper. I'm going to look at your paper in a second. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. I mean, well, 1 minute to do that. I should say a few seconds. Good job. What are we supposed to do with the title? What are we supposed to do with the title? Good job. Good job, Jazz. You're on the right track. Wonderful job. Sanaya McLean. Sanaya, I'm not sure what this is, but this does not mirror my paper. So let's start over. And I want you to do the same thing as Jazz came in class to do. I want you to start completely over, Sanaya McLean. Start completely over. That does not reflect the student you are. So let's start over. Let's start with the title. What should you do with the title? I'm waiting for you, Sanaya. Show me what you should do with the title. No, not write it down. Show me on Nearpod what you should do with the title. Remember, I showed you my paper. I also showed Sanaya G's paper, right? Let's take another look, all right? Or let's look at Nia's paper. Nia, she did amazing. Point, Nia. Look at how she did her paper, Sanaya. Boxing the title. I'm not going to stay here much longer because I gave you the opportunity to do that. I showed you 2 examples and I went over at least 3 or 4 papers already. All right. So I'm going to move on. Love, I see you on the right track as well. All right. I'm moving on to the we do. The we do. So you have 2 questions. I want you to begin the first one. All right. I want you to begin. I want you to mark up your paper. I want you to do everything, all the steps that we have done in class. I want you to complete them. And then we're going to go over it and we're going to share out and do it together. All right. We're going to walk through the problem together. So for number 1, it's only 2. Guys, it's not 3. So a lot of my last class was looking at, so I can't see number 3. I only put 1 and 2 up here, okay? So I want you to look at number 1. Number 1. You should be marking up your paper, looking for those keywords. I should not see any answer chosen if you don't have any of those keywords underlined or boxed in the text, because I don't know how you came up with that or how you came up with your answer. Okay, we come up with the text structure based off of the keywords, the signal words that will help us identify what text structure it is. With no keywords, you should not come up with a text structure. I see some things being underlined. I see some keywords being circled. I'm not going to display it because I don't want. Good. Meshach, I should see something from you, right? Right. So that's 1. The next time you're out, right? Okay. Nia, Love, Alejandro, Christina, Rosetta, Halima, Amelia, Malia, all of you guys should be in progress as well. I'm not sure if it's just showing me that or if you're not really in it. Write me in the chat. Okay, Amelia. Okay. It didn't show me that you were. It didn't show me that you were drawing. And like I said, if you are drawing and I misspoke, just write me in the chat. Say Miss Jackson, I am. It's just not showing you or whatever. Okay. Rosetta, Christina, Love, Halima. Millie said that she's drawing. Okay, it's not showing me that. Okay. Also Malia. Halima, have you started your drawing? You should be following along in class. Meshach, it's only 2 questions. It's only 1 and 2. You're only supposed to be doing it for number 1. Yeah, we're not moving on to number 2, Sanaya, not yet. Just number 1. I see keywords underlined. All right. All right, you have 30 seconds left. You have 30 seconds left. So that means get those keywords boxed. You have 30 seconds left. Get those keywords boxed. You will hear the timer go off. When the timer is off, we're going to go and move forward. That's fine, Rosetta. Just get back to it. It's fine. I understand. Things happen, okay? We're not going to stay there. We're just going to move forward, all right? Timer is up. Timer is up. Let's go through and see what you guys have. So I'm pulling up Andrea's picture. If you guys can see, all right? So let's read that. I'm going to read it. Ice cream is a delicious frozen treat that comes in many different colors and flavors. 2 of my favorite flavors are strawberry and chocolate. Though both of these flavors are delicious, strawberry may contain pieces of fruit, while chocolate usually will not. Even though more chocolate ice cream is sold across the country annually than strawberry, each flavor tastes great inside of a milkshake. So, Andrea, I see that you have some things underlined, but I only asked you to underline the key words. So, the key words that you see on your right hand side on the side, which of those words did you see? I see you have different. Underlined. I don't see, I see you have if in there, but I don't see if in the passage. All right. So based off of the word different that you found, off of that one word, did anybody else have anything different? I'm going to look. Did anybody have anything different? Write me in the chat. Did you have anything different, or did you want to add anything onto what Andrea had? She had different. I'm just looking for keywords right now. I'm not looking for answers. I'm looking for keywords. Okay, so Naya says she has something else. Amelia says she has something else. Amelia, what did you have? What do you have? I'm going to go down to your paper right now. And let's look.
Okay. I had the same answer as Andrea, but I underlined the stuff that matches my answer. I had underlined different and same, similar, and alike.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else had anything different? She had different. Anybody else? Amelia, where'd you see alike at?
It's above different.
No, I mean in the passage. I'm looking for it in the passage. I'm only talking about keywords that are directly in the passage. I see different, but there's something else that I'm looking for. Sanaya G, since you raised your hand, since you wrote in the chat me, I'm going to pull up your paper. Thank you for sharing out, Amelia. Thank you for sharing out, Andrea. I'm going to pick on Sanaya. Sanaya, which words did you have that you had that were different than just different? So I know you have different, but did you find any other words, any other keywords in the text?
Yes, I found though both of these flavors are delicious.
Okay, she used the whole phrase both, with both in it. So she had different and both. So we have two words in the same category. If you look on the side where it says keywords, you have the word both and you have different. What category does those keywords fall in? What text structure is associated with those keywords? I want you to drop it in the chat. Send me in the chat. What did you have for number 1? Drop it in the chat. I'm only looking for one letter. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Nia. Make sure it's privately to me. If you send it to the whole class, I will take points away. Make sure you are sending it just to me. Thank you, Sanaya. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Nia, Andrea, Brittany, Sanaya, Maya. Thank you, Jazz. Maya, I'm looking for the letter. What was your answer? Thank you, guys. So yes, let's go through it. Chat's still blowing up. All right, let's go through it. And while I'm waiting for my screen to load, does anybody want to share out how they got the answer that they chose based off of the keywords? Not only just keywords, but what else would make you think that it was your answer? I want you to explain your answer. Somebody outside of Amelia and outside of Sanaya, I'm going to give you the opportunity to volunteer. If you don't volunteer, I'm going to call on you.
Can I go?
Sure, Brittany, go ahead.
I chose technical scientific because technical is about steps and how to make something, and this wasn't talking about how to make ice cream or anything. And it's not, and I also chose scientific because it's not historical, because historical talks about something stuff from the past, and ice cream wasn't talking about ice cream from the past. So I chose scientific, and also because it said right there that it was talking about somebody liking something, and they were like comparing chocolate and strawberry.
Okay, so wait. We're gonna pause you. You're just on fire. You're just spitting out a lot of stuff. Okay, a lot of good things. Okay, so kudos to you. All right. So the first thing she said is she chose it was scientific. I want to talk about this very quickly, guys. It's a very. I want you guys to listen in. So if you're listening, say I'm listening.
I'm listening.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So since you're listening, so yes, it would not be historical. You are absolutely right. You talked that through to me perfectly. It would not be historical. It would not be technical. But guys, it's not scientific either, because scientific is talking about plants, wildlife, anything uh associated with life. Okay, no, but it is an informational text, so we would just categorize this as informational text. Okay, because it's not technically scientific either. Okay, that's why I didn't ask you to identify what type of text this one is. It's just an informational text. Okay, it's just an informational text. But yes, that would have been probably the best choice would have been scientific, Brittany. So yes, kudos to you for even trying to even think that out. I love that. Okay. So now let's get into the question. You said, I want you to walk me through it. I'm going to mark up the paper as you would have it. All right. And then I'm going to look for someone's paper to mirror what we just talked about, or what we're going to talk about now. Okay. So Brittany, you said that you had underlined the word different. And I'm going to, and did you have anything else that you had underlined, Brittany?
I also underlined, I also underlined that that ice cream is in many colors and flavors.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Sanaya G had both as well. Okay, so Brittany had different, Sanaya G had both. So now we're going to go over here. We see both. We also see different. All right. So what word this is associated with in the chat, you guys told me it was compare and contrast, which was B. But I also want to talk about how we know it's compare and contrast. We have both, right? What two things are they comparing? What two things are they comparing? Let me call on Maya. Maya, what two things are they comparing?
Different in both.
Yeah, different in both, but what two things are we talking about in the text? What two things are we talking about in the text?
Compare, contrast.
Yes, don't, it's okay, Maya. Calm down. Calm down. Yes, compare and contrast. You are right. I want you to read. I want you to read. Okay. Make sure you're muted, please. Please make sure you're muted so you won't distract the class, okay? All right, so Maya, I need you to read the second sentence for me in the passage. Read the second sentence for me. I don't want you to have a breakdown. That's fine. We're going to do it together. Read the second sentence for me, and everyone else should be looking at your screen. Go ahead, Maya.
Two of my favorite flavors are strawberry and chocolate, though.
Okay, stop right there. What two things are we talking about in the text?
Favorite flavors?
Yep, which two?
Chocolate and strawberry.
There we go. Thank you. It wasn't hard, right?
No.
We're talking about strawberry and chocolate ice cream. We're talking about two things. That was another thing that you could have used to help you identify what the text structure was. It's talking about chocolate and strawberry and chocolate ice cream. Okay, those are our favorite flavors. It says both of these are delicious. It talks about how they're both delicious, right? But then it talks about how they're different too. Strawberry may contain pieces of fruit while chocolate usually will not. That is the difference as well. So compare and contrast, we know that it's talking about similarities and differences. This was the difference. All right, this is how they're the same. They're both flavors are delicious. It also said that More chocolate ice cream was sold across the country, okay, than strawberry. That's another difference. Another similarity is that each flavor tastes great inside of a milkshake. So there you have it, both the similarities and the difference, how they're the same and how they're different. Compare and contrast. And I loved how I saw how some of you guys were underlining the differences and the similarities. I went in and saw it. So now I want you to do number 2 before you go to your you do. I want you to do number 2. Freezer burn may have wasted more ice cream than sidewalks. If you don't know, freezer burn is when ice crystals form on the surface of ice cream. These ice crystals can ruin the texture and flavor of the ice cream, but you can prevent freezer burn. Since freezer burn is caused when melted ice cream is refrozen, rather than eating your ice cream from the container as it melts, scoop your ice cream into a bowl and put the container back in the fridge immediately. Doing this ought to help you solve your issues with freezer burn. Now go through and find your keywords and figure out which keyword associates with which text structure. Do that now. I'm going to set the timer for 3 minutes. Go. You have 2 minutes left. I'm going to go in and look at what you guys are doing. Meshach, I'm going to yours. Meshach, I don't see any words circled, no keywords. How did you even come up with that if you don't have anything, any keywords underlined? Go back and fix that. Richard, I'm going to look at yours. Richard, that was wonderful. That was wonderful, Richard. I'm going to ask you to share yours out in a second. I wanted to take it away because I don't want everyone to look at it. But from what I can see, it is wonderful. Amelia, you too. I can kind of see. I already know what words need to be underlined, what places. You're doing good. Halima, I don't see any. Okay, timer is up. Timer is up. I'm going through. I see Maya, you just submitted yours. All right, Richard, can you explain yours? I'm going to pull yours up. And can you kind of walk us through what you did, Richard? Go ahead, Richard.
Okay, so I remember if I don't have no keywords, I can't get my answer. So I was looking at a test for some keywords that can help me get to my answer. And then when I saw solve, when I said when it has a freezer burn, there's a problem with that. So when I also saw solve, that's how I came up with problem and solution. Because if you have a problem, you have to solve it. So when I saw solve, and I also saw some other keywords that led to problem solution.
Like so what? Like what other word did you see that led to problem and solution? You're doing. I mean, you amazing job talking through that.
All right, so I also saw since. So since it's like since freezer burners is caused when we leave ice cream is refrigerated rather than that since that's a problem because if you don't put it in a bowl and you put it in the freezer, in the freezer like that, it's gonna melt and that's gonna be a problem. If you want it again, that's gonna be a problem.
Yes. So since is a keyword for another one, but what you were saying was that since started off the sentence where it was talking about the problem or the solution. Okay, so I think that's what you were trying to say, is that what you were trying to say, Richard?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, perfect. Yes. And he also had solve an issues. Okay. He had solved an issue. Did you hear what he said in the beginning? He said, I know that if I don't have any words boxed in, any keywords boxed in, I know I can't come up with my answer. He's absolutely correct. He picked out those keywords. And then he still identified one of the problems in the text. Okay? We all know that issue is also a term for a problem. Okay? And then solve. That is solution. Okay? When you have to solve something, that's coming to your solution, solving it. Okay? D, problem and solution. He had his words underlined or boxed in, circled. Wonderful job, Richard. Wonderful job. Wonderful job. Richard, you get a point for that. You're also one of my high flyers for today. All right, so what do you do? What do you do?